Hi, and welcome to 30 Days of Brave Thinking. I'm Mary Morrissey, and today I'm offering you a gift that will help you stay calm, help you discover that even during very, very turbulent times, you have a power in you that you can actually call upon, and instead of being taken down by a difficult time, you can actually find a way to have this be one of the most empowering times of your life. So it's completely free. It's the fruit of many, many years of study of transformation, and I'm giving it to you. For 40 years, my mission has been in helping people, empowering people, and training people in how to have a mindset that's a match to the results they want to have in their lives, how to move results from one set of results to another set of results that are more empowering, more life-giving, more fruitful for them, for their families, for their workplace, and literally for our world. And it works. I've been working with this for my entire life, helping tens of thousands of people all over the world, and especially in difficult moments like this one. I believe that the right thing to do is give everything I can give you completely free here. And in 30 days, you can establish a set point, a mindset point, and a way of understanding how you can use even the most difficult times in your life to actually help you catapult your life forward. Not because so much of the difficult time or in spite of it, but because of how you went through the difficult time. And if you just keep breathing, you're going to create results anyway. And since we're in this difficult time, why not use it to the benefit of you, your dreams, the impact you can bring, and the difference you can offer? So I'm happy to make this offer to you. It's completely free. So to support you today, I'm going to share with you a short video clip from my signature 3-day event, DreamBuilder Live. During that event, people come from all over the world, hundreds of people, to learn how to face their challenging circumstances, release feelings of fear and doubt and worry, and have real skill sets in how to apply the invisible spiritual laws that govern all our results and use the application of those in service of creating results in a life they absolutely love living. So yes, we're facing some difficult times. So let's pull upon this training for each one of us to help us use this time in a truly constructive way. I hope you enjoy this clip. So before we begin, take a deep breath. Take another one. Bring yourself into the present moment. Stay inside this day and inside this present moment. Make sure your notifications, your pings and dings that might come to you through your technology are shut off. So much coming at us. Let's take some moments now and turn to what's seeking to emerge to us and through us. I had a high school experience in Beaverton, Oregon, like most young girls dream about. I was class vice president. I was on the drill team. I had a lead in the junior play. That year I was homecoming princess. And then at the end of my junior year in high school, I got pregnant. Yeah, she gasped over there. My mother did too. My high school boyfriend had come home on spring break, and I got pregnant. May 1, and we dated for 3 years prior to that before he went off to college. So I got pregnant. May 1, I tell my mom and dad I'm now pregnant. My mother wept for me as if I had died. In her mind, all her dreams for me were dying. We had a very hasty 10-person wedding on May 11th, 1966. And 2 weeks later, the principal of the high school called me to his office from one of those intercoms that were on the wall in those days. And I got there, and he sat me down, and he said, "Mary, are these rumors I'm hearing about you true?" And I said, "Well, if the rumors are that I am pregnant and married in that order, then yes, they're true." He just looked at me and shook his head, and then he said, "You have great honors and you have terrific academics, but you will not be allowed to return here for your senior year in high school. It would be totally inappropriate for a pregnant girl to get mixed in with the normal girls. But we have a place for people like you if you want to finish high school. If you just go get a GED, then you can do it some other way. But if you want to actually get a high school diploma, there is a way you can do that. Not here at this school, but there's a place you can go. It's not held during daylight hour, it's after dark." And when he told me where it was in Portland, it was in a place in Portland I hadn't been allowed to drive in after dark. And it was a high school, it was a normal high school during the day, but at night, without changing the sign on the high school, it became an evening high school for a particular population: pregnant girls and delinquent boys. and that's where I was allowed to go to complete my senior year. The next fall, I drove my car to that part of Portland, parked it, walked up to Washington High School, big steps coming up, but it didn't say Washington Evening High School, but I knew that's what I would step into when I stepped through those doors. And as I'm walking up the steps to begin my senior year, I remember thinking, all right, every girl here has a baby or is pregnant. Every guy is some kind of a delinquent. This is my new student body. I don't know where you were at the beginning of your senior year. Think back. Where were you? This is where I was. I walked through those doors, I went to register, and there were some people around, some guys standing around. As I'm registering, one of them says, "Hi, my name's Paul, but I'm no apostle." And right away, the kid, they've got this planned, of course, because the kid next to him says, "Yeah, I'm Peter, and I'm no saint." And I just turned to them and I said, "My name is Mary, no comment." I am now pregnant. That was the beginning of my senior year. My son, John, was born in December of 1966. And I graduated. There's my graduation picture from Washington Evening High School in May of 1967. High Point. And at this point, as I'm graduating from high school, I've lost the school I grew up in, my best girlfriends from the time I was from the time I was in fourth grade. There were 4 of us. And when I got pregnant and kicked out of school, their mothers got together and decided those girls could not see me anymore. We couldn't be friends anymore with me, as if what I had was contagious. So I'd lost my best friends. 2 months later, I was in intensive care ward in a Portland hospital, Portland Adventist Hospital, having been diagnosed with fatal kidney disease. One kidney was totally destroyed with kidney disease called nephritis. The other kidney had 50% destruction, active nephritis. And I was told if we could get the blood toxin level in my body reduced enough so I could sustain a surgery to remove that right kidney, then maybe I would have 6 months to live. I have a 7-month-old son. He isn't even walking yet. I might not ever see him walk. All the dreams a mother has. Yes, I'm a young mother, but I have dreams for that little boy. Yes, I still want to be a teacher, and I didn't see getting pregnant as an end to that, just a detour, a period of time where I would delay that right now, but it's not going away. I'm going to do that with my life. I'm going to raise my little boy, and I'm going to become a teacher. And now, the best shot I'm going to get is 6 months. And I was devastated and terrified. And the God of my upbringing, my orientation to how things occurred, how results occurred, was that things just happened to people. And the God of my upbringing was not a friendly place to go when you felt like you had really screwed up. The God I had been raised in was a God that had anger, had a personality, wrought things on people, punished people. And since I was a bad girl, I got kicked out of my high school, I couldn't go there. My best friends couldn't see me, clearly I was a bad girl. And now I'm being punished, I'm not even going to get to raise my own little boy. And that's the orientation I had about how it was happening. The night before the surgery was scheduled, a woman walked in my room and identified herself as a visiting chaplain, that she came several times a week to offer prayer for people who were having surgeries. The next day, she was handed a sheet with people who were going to have surgery in the order of the most seriousness of those surgeries, and my name was at the top of the list, and I want someone to pray with me. And I was scared. 10 o'clock at night, my family's now gone, they're coming back in the morning for the surgery, I'm alone. And I said, okay. And she didn't do anything that looked like prayer. She pulled her chair next to my bed and she talked with me. And it started this way. She says, "Mary, would you be willing to tell me what's been going on in your life the last year or 2? So I told her a story. At the end of which she just looked at me with this huge compassion, and she said, "Mary, everything's created twice." I had no idea what she was talking about. And then she looked at me and she says, "You already know this. In fact, everybody knows this. Almost nobody knows the power of knowing this. The bed you're laying on, the nightgown you're wearing, the sheet covering you, the walls, the ceiling, the floor, all the machinery you're hooked up to. First, it had to be a thought before it could be a thing. Everything is created twice." Then she said, You already know this.
You know that if you think embarrassing thoughts, your cheeks get red. You know that if you think scary enough thoughts, your heart will beat faster. I hear how much you love your little boy, but I also hear how much you've been hating yourself. You feel like you shamed your school, you shamed your family, you shamed yourself. And now that you're thinking how everything is created twice, could you consider the possibility that that self-loathing, that toxic thinking could have something to do with the toxicity that is rampaging your body and threatening your very life? Nobody I knew thought this way. Nobody. And then she said, could you believe it's possible I could say a prayer, we could say a prayer together, and it could just dissolve that toxicity. In the morning, they come and they look at you and they say, you look so much better, we better test you. And they test you and they can find no dis-ease in you, and they say, we don't know what happened, but get up, go home, you're fine. She says, could you believe that's possible? And I told her the truth, no. There wasn't one part of me that could believe that she was going to say some words and all of this was just going to dissolve. I believed way more in my pain and the people walking around with white jackets who had MD on them than I believed in this woman who walked in who said, hey, we can just dissolve all this. And then she said, okay, think about it this way. There are infinite possibilities in this universe, infinite. There's got to be one possibility, one, where we can say a prayer and take everything that's toxic in your body and place it in that kidney that's going to get removed. And when that kidney's removed, instead of you getting worse, you get better. Could you believe that's at least in infinite possibilities? Could there be one possibility where that could occur? And it was interesting because in that moment, I didn't believe it, but I could tell she believed that there had to be a possibility where that could happen. And I said, well, I don't know if it's probable, but maybe it's possible. And she just latched onto that, and she said, that's all we need. One corner of your mind open to the possibility, let's work with that. Pause with me here in the story. Why this matters to you. You're going to have people tell you what's possible. You're going to have those who believe in the environment, or those who believe in the economy that you're in, or housing markets, or on and on in the power of conditions in your life. Having someone who knows that there is a power in you that's greater than those circumstances, and you can work with that power intelligently for the production of something that's beyond what ordinary thinkers think is possible. She intervened in my life. She said, I could tell she believed it was possible. Now, this is before we had Sheldrake, quantified field, quantum theory, unified field theory, before Max Talbot wrote Holographic Universe out of Stanford, before David Bohm, before all the science that we take for granted today. There was no mind-body clinic at Harvard Medical Teaching Center in 1967, and there wasn't dialysis and there wasn't transplants. This was a death sentence to Mary. Active nephritis, 50% destruction in that left kidney. And she's telling me we can change that. Do you believe it's possible, she said. I said, I don't know, but maybe. And she said, let's work with that. All we need is one corner of your mind open to the possibility. Why that matters to you. You're going to have a zillion parts of yourself telling you why you can't have your dream. Why it's not statistically easy. I mean, who are you to think you can? All of that. You're going to have to find a place in you where you believe that I believe it's possible. If you don't believe it for yourself, I know it's possible because I've seen it again and again and again with thousands of people. I don't think I know. And so did she. She knew. I could feel it that she knew. And then she said, okay. And she did some kind of a prayer. I don't know what the prayer was, but I do know that she told me what to do after the surgery. She said, when the surgery happens and you come back from surgery, at first your mind is going to be busy noticing the pain of a surgery like that. Within a day or two or three, when the pain of that surgery ebbs, your mind is going to want to go down the well-worn thought paths you've been thinking for the last year and a half, the toxic thoughts. You're going to want to repeat that. Here's what I want you to do. She said to me, now, you told me that if you could live, you wanted to raise your little boy and you wanted to be a teacher. And I said, yes, that's what I would do with my life. Just so here's what you do. After the surgery, I want you to notice whenever you start to think a self-loathing thought. And when you notice that you're thinking a self-loathing thought, interrupt it and say, no, that left with the kidney, because we're going to scoop all that toxicity, all that self-loathing, all that self-hatred, all that embarrassment and shame. We're going to scoop it all into that kidney, but you got to let it go once it's gone. Say, no, that left with the kidney. And then immediately imagine you've got a little boy's hand in yours. Feel his warm hand. He's 5 years old. You're walking him upstairs to a school, and there's a kindergarten teacher waiting, and she's accepting her kindergarten class. Your son's in that class. She's smiling. He's jumping up and down. He's so excited to go to kindergarten. And you're so happy to be there to get him and be with him, hug him as he goes into kindergarten. He goes off, you go down the hallway. You hear the click, click, click of your heels as you go down that hallway, turn left, and there's your classroom. And you're a teacher, Mary, and this is your first classroom. Then fast forward in your mind, and you're sitting in an auditorium or a big stadium, and there's all these caps and gowns down on the stage, down below, and you hear your son's name called, and this 18-year-old gets up, cap and gown on. He walks across the stage. He shakes hands. He's given his diploma. He holds it up high, and you feel this immense pride and all the many moments of what you did to help him and what he did on his own to come to the culmination of this moment of his high school graduation. Notice that she's giving me pictures with emotion. It's the picture of taking my 5-year-old in my classroom. It's the picture of me being in the auditorium, feeling the thrill of my son, raising his hand, seeing it and feeling it. And then fast forward after that, and imagine that you're sitting in the front row of your son's wedding, and he's marrying the love of his life, and you're the mother of the groom, and how grateful you are to be there. And then she said, just keep doing that. And she said a prayer, said it's all now in the kidney, ready to be removed. When it's gone, let it go. And she left. I woke up the next morning, and I would notice something. I had slept all night that night without waking in pain. I had not been able to do that in weeks without, well, no matter how much pain medication they gave me. I just noticed it, but then I was being swept off to the surgery. And a couple of weeks after the surgery, my specialist came in and he says, your numbers have stabilized. He said, I told your family that was gathered, your parents and your husband, that one kidney was totally destroyed. We removed it, of course. The other kidney had 50% destruction. It's mottled, it's withered. He said, you've got, final stage kidney disease. But your numbers have stabilized. So, it's possible you could have a little more time than we thought. So I've talked to you, the urologist. If you go see him 3 times a week for checking your numbers, you could go to your parents' house. My husband and my baby were living with them right then, so my mother could help. And have some time before you come back to the hospital. Went home in an ambulance. Was so weak I could hardly lift my head off a pillow. And my numbers not only stabilized, but they started to improve and improve and improve. And after somewhere between the 4th and 5th month, I'm sitting in a meeting with the surgeon, the urologist, the GP, the other radiologist people who were shaking their heads saying, we have no science for why that one kidney, and he said, I saw it. It was riddled with nephritis. Why that one kidney should now be functioning as a full, whole, healthy kidney. We have no science for that. We don't know how long this will last. We're just going to mark medical anomaly on your chart and come back in 3 months. Let's see what happens. And that was 51 and a half years ago.
Okay, let's take another deep breath here as we come to the end of this video. I hope this clip served you today. And if you know anyone that is going through tough times or anyone who could benefit from this, go ahead and help them. This is all free. Go ahead and help them. Invite them. Share the video with them. And rather than spreading fear and contraction and panic, let's each instead be a part of what lifts us up. Let's give what we can give. Let's spread hope. Let's spread compassion. Let's spread peace and calm, health and love. And so here we are today. You have many choices about where you spent your time. I'm grateful you were here, and I hope for you that you, as people come to mind, that you help them with what you can in the ways that you can only do that. And also, if this is helpful to you, go ahead and share it. It's free for me, and I'm happy to give it away. So becoming a brave thinker, and staying in these higher levels of vibration, we actually become part of the solution instead of part of the problem. It's easy to have the ain't it awful conversation. But as a brave thinker, you're turning now to a different way of being, even in very difficult times. and it makes all the difference. And now, if you would love even more support in embodying brave thinking in these challenging times, I have a gift for you. Click below, and you're going to have an opportunity to receive from me 30 days of daily videos from me for 30 days, helping you stay in a mindset of uplifting thoughts, choosing that day what you can do. I will give you a 5-minute personalized video for you for that specific day of this 30-day program in learning how to establish a set point in your normal thought pattern of being a brave thinker instead of dealing with everything coming at you. You will get through this time, but who you become at the end of this and what your conditions are and whether you've grown to this time or just barely gritted your teeth to get through it will have everything to do with your thinking. So my gift to you is 30 days of training. It just takes 5 minutes in the morning. You're going to have a mindset on anyway. You don't get to not think. Why not think from a vibration that actually takes you where you want to go instead of just barely getting by and reacting to the circumstances we have? So for the next 30 days, I'll send you a 3 to 5 minute video, simple, highly effective steps that you can apply that day to making that day the best day you can have, even in the midst of difficult times. There's no sales pitch in this. There's no hook. It's just a gift from me. And I'm happy to do it at this time particularly. So it's something I've been helping clients with for many, many decades. And I'm just giving it away now. So I'm happy to do that, and I hope you will avail yourself of it. And then if you want to give it to somebody else, feel free to do that right now. That's what we're doing. So, and you can leave any question you want in the comment section below. So I love hearing from you. Did you enjoy this? What helped you? What would you like more of? How you doing right now? What else can I help you with? So until tomorrow, feel a big, big hug from Mary Morrissey.